And what if I told you Manchester United didn't just beat Arsenal 3-2 tonight? They controlled the game in ways Mikel Arteta didn't even see coming. Because how does a team with 40% possession end up beating you in your own backyard in front of your own crowd? Now, from the midfield to the flanks, Michael Carrick's plan was surgical. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how United turned a title favorite into a team running on empty, and what this masterclass means for the United board, the fans, and the future of Michael Carrick. Let's be honest, nobody saw this coming. Coming into tonight, the narrative was already written. We just watched this Arsenal side dismantle Inter Milan in the Champions League. The consensus was almost unanimous. United were walking into a graveyard. The Emirates wasn't just a stadium, it was an engine designed to swallow Carrick, and for the first 20 minutes, it looked like the script was playing out exactly as planned. But this is where the disbelief sets in. If you just look at the highlights, you'll see 5 goals, a Lisandro Martinez own goal, and a chaotic finish. You'll think United escaped with a win. But you'd be wrong. This wasn't a smash and grab. It was a trap, and Arsenal walked straight into it. While the rest of the world was mesmerized by Arsenal's order, Michael Carrick was waiting for the perfect moment that has remained Arsenal's weakest link all season. You see, when Mikel Arteta's side morphs into that suffocating 3-2-5 attacking shape, they don't just play football, they occupy territory like an invading army. And it worked. The pressure was so relentless that even a defender as composed as Lisandro Martinez cracked, turning the ball into his own net. The Emirates was rocking, the title lead was stretching to 7 points, and the flow was entirely in Arsenal's favor. But here's the thing about a machine. If one gear slips, the whole system grinds to a halt. But today, the first crack wasn't tactical, it was a total lapse in concentration. Martin Zubimendi, usually the most reliable metronome in London, played a back pass so loose, it might as well have been an assist for Bryan Mbeumo. In that 1 second, Arsenal's unbeatable flow didn't just stumble, it evaporated. They went from controlling the tempo to chasing shadows. Gary Neville called their game management terrible, and he wasn't being harsh. Once that error handed United the equalizer, the Arteta order turned into Arsenal chaos. They stopped trusting the system, and that's exactly when Michael Carrick's trap snapped shut. Now, if you pull up the post-match stats right now, you're going to see exactly what the pundits expected. You'll see their pass completion through the roof, and you'll see a shot count that makes it look like one-way traffic. In fact, the win probability before the game favored Arsenal by 61% against United's 17%. But here's the secret. None of those numbers are a problem for Manchester United. To be honest, it is safe to say Michael Carrick practically invited them. See, Carrick understood a truth that Arteta missed. Possession is only a weapon if you actually do something with it. While Arsenal were busy racking up hundreds of safe passes and mesmerizing the crowd with their order, Michael Carrick was waiting for the perfect moment. Because in Carrick's world, it doesn't matter if you have 60% of the ball if you don't have the lungs to track back when you lose it. The stats might tell you Arsenal had the control, but the scoreboard proves that United had the plan. But a plan is only as good as its execution, and tonight, United's execution was ruthless. It started with that gift from Zubimendi. When his back pass fell short, the Emirates went silent. But if the equalizer was about luck and persistence, the lead was about pure, unadulterated quality. Coming out for the second half, everyone expected Arsenal to reset, to find that order again. Instead, they were hit by a lightning bolt. Patrick Dorgu, the man who has become a revelation under Carrick, plucked a ball from Bruno Fernandes out of the sky and unleashed a strike so violent it nearly broke the crossbar before hitting the back of the net. 2-1. Suddenly, Arsenal's suffocating press became their own undoing. Arteta threw everything at it. He made a quadruple sub, bringing on the cavalry, and for a moment it worked. When Mikel Merino scrambled home that equalizer in the 84th minute, the narrative shifted again. The pundits were ready to write the gutsy Arsenal draw headline. But Matheus Cunha had other ideas. Less than 3 minutes later, before the Arsenal fans had even finished celebrating, Cunha kicked up the ball 25 yards out. No one closed him down, no one stepped up, and with one swing of his boot, he curled a worldie into the bottom corner that didn't just win the game, it silenced North London. But you can't have a heist without the heavy lifters. Casemiro was a titan tonight. Just days after the club confirmed his summer departure, he played like a man determined to leave a legacy. He didn't just defend, he disrupted. Every time Martin Ødegaard or Declan Rice tried to find that killer final ball, he was there, a combative, tactical wall that broke Arsenal's rhythm before it could even start. He provided the grit, but Kobbie Mainoo provided the grace. Mainoo was the ultimate metronome. While the veteran Brazilian was winning the duels, Kobbie was whacking up the spoils and resetting the game with a calmness that felt almost illegal for a 20-year-old in this atmosphere. He didn't just survive the Arsenal press, he bypassed it. With news breaking this week that Mainoo signed a massive new contract to keep him at Old Trafford as a top earner, today's performance was the ultimate justification. As Casemiro prepares for his final 4 months in red, tonight felt like a symbolic handover. One legend is taking his final bow, while the other is just beginning to write his story. For Michael Carrick, this partnership wasn't just a selection, it was a statement of what United's future looks like. And then there's the captain. While the media will focus on the screamers from Dorgu and Cunha, none of it happens without the sheer tactical intelligence of Bruno Fernandes. Today wasn't about Bruno the Maverick, it was about Bruno the General. In the first half, he was the only one keeping Arsenal's backline honest. Even when Arsenal were pinned back, Bruno was constantly sniffing out the space behind William Saliba. He missed 2 big chances early on, snatching at them in the heat of the moment, but he never let his head drop. Instead, he dropped deeper, becoming the bridge that Arsenal's press couldn't burn. His most vital contribution, the second goal. It was a moment of pure vision. While the Emirates was still settling into the second half, Bruno spotted the run of Patrick Dorgu before the Arsenal midfield even realized they'd left a gap. He weighted that pass with the kind of perfection that makes a finish like Dorgu's possible. So where does this leave us? For Arsenal, this isn't just a loss, it's a crisis of confidence. Coming into the weekend, they had the chance to sit 7 points clear. Instead, after those clinical wins from Manchester City and Aston Villa, the gap at the top has been slashed to just 4 points. The Arteta machine that looked invincible at the San Siro suddenly looks vulnerable at home. If they don't fix these transitional lapses fast, they're not just losing a game, they're handing the momentum back to Pep and Emery. But for Manchester United, the story is entirely different. In just 8 days, Michael Carrick has gone 2 for 2 against the biggest names in the league. He didn't just get lucky against City in the derby, and he didn't survive tonight at the Emirates. He outthought the most meticulous tacticians in the game. United are now officially up into 4th place, and the conversation has shifted. The question for the United board isn't who the next manager should be, it's whether the man they need is already sitting in the dugout. But I want to hear from you. After tonight's masterclass, do you trust the process, or is it time to make this move permanent? Drop a Carrick in the comments if you want Manchester United to keep him long term. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.